I have never been as excited as I am today about breeding geckos. In this video, I'm going to walk you through our new 2023 breeding groups as I am starting to put them together now. So this group I put together based on a male that I got from AJD Reptiles. He is out of Muse and Vault. I'm trying to find him right now, but this group is basically going to be for white, drippy, pinstripe harlequins. Here is the male, and he is just an awesome looking animal with some thick white walls and a lot of snowflaking around the back and around the legs and the laterals and everything. So he is going to be, you know, the focal point of this breeding group. Obviously, I put together some females. This girl is Mila. I've had her for many, many years, and she comes from Northern Gecko. She has a lot of drip as well, as you can see, that lavender base. And I have some other really nice white females in here with him too. So I got this girl here. This girl is just absolutely stunning. That cream that she has going on her sides with the drip as well. As you can see, every gecko in this group is gonna have some drip, either on the laterals or on that dorsal, but very light based lavenders with that really cream or white look. And the gecko fell, but don't worry, this happens. This is probably the whitest girl out of these. So I'm looking to produce, you know, some really nice high-end white walls with a lot of drip. That's the focal point of this project. So the focal point of this next red stripe gargoyle gecko group is Carnage. Carnage is an absolute killer gecko from Magnum Geckos. He is a red stripe or even a super stripe at that, and he is being set up with some nice red ladies. This girl here, she has a little bit of a yellow base, and her red stripes and orange stripes aren't as strong, but the reason I put them together is because he also has a yellow base. Now these two other females are just really, really deep and bright reds. As you can see, my girl here has deeper red colorations, and this girl in the middle, this is her first time breeding, but she has amazing bold red stripes, which he has already proven to be a really good breeder, so I'm going to go ahead and give him one of my better up-and-coming females. Carnage is probably around 5 years old now, so he's been keeping his color really good, and this is something that I always look out for in my gargoyle gecko breeding projects, because I want animals that are going to be keeping that color for years to come, and it won't fade in 2 or 3 years. So that's very important to me. So hopefully, you know, he's already proven himself, but with this girl into the group, he should be producing some exceptional geckos. So let me get these guys put together. I like to pair up my gargoyles around this time when it's cooler. Now in Florida, obviously it's not that cold, but I like to drop down the temperatures in the gecko house. Right now it's about like 69 to 72 degrees in here. Once they start to slow down, they're not laying eggs anymore. That's when I start to put them together so they could get along. For the next season, when they start warming up, they'll start breeding, and that's when I get the best fertility. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you could win a red stripe gargoyle gecko. All right, so this crested gecko breeding group is focused around Onyx right here, and Onyx is a tangerine marking animal that, as you can see, his just super bright orange markings on his pinstripes, on his back, on his laterals, and this girl is too. She has some really intense tangerine white walls. I just want to produce some of the highest tangerine colored animals. So I'll put these guys together. This whole group is going to be based around the tangerines. This girl came from AC Reptiles, is actually from the bubblegum line. She's a little bit older, so she's faded a little bit more, but she used to have that bright tangerine as well. And there's one more in here that is absolutely insane. This lavender tangerine animal. And you could see how intense the coloration on these animals are. So I am looking forward to producing these crazy tangerine markings and then crossing them to my other tangerine projects and making just some insane geckos. The tangerine seems to hold the color a lot better than regular like orange markings or orange pattern. So that's why I am focusing on the tangerine, because if you've bred Halloweens before, you know that in about 2 years, they start to fade and it doesn't look like a Halloween anymore. But I think this is the key to producing some true Halloweens. As you can see, my boy Onyx over here is easily over 6 years old, and he's all right, and he's still holding his black base and his tangerine coloration very well. So I'm gonna go ahead, put them together, And this is a project that you should look out for in the 2023 breeding season. All right, so this next pair of gargoyle geckos is going to be centered around Bloodbath. And Bloodbath is a Aberrant striped gargoyle gecko that has a lot of red blotching around him. And I'm putting him together with this orange Aberrant blotched gargoyle female here. So I want to produce some really messy striped and blotched animals with these. Maybe we'll even produce some reticulated blotched, because they're both Aberrant stripes. So what that means is that it can be heterozygous for reticulated. So we'll see if these two actually produce some super blotched. Their colors are insane, and I just like the messy look sometimes. Sometimes I put pairs together that are just to produce like oddball geckos. So this is one of them, and I'll leave him alone now since he wants to be off of my hands. But this girl is an absolute beauty, super orange. Okay, so this year I am putting Chester with 2 Super Dalmatian females. Now last year he was just with 1 Super Dalmatian female, but this year I am giving him 2. This is gonna be his new girl, and I produced this girl out of one of my Super Dalmatian groups unrelated to Chester, and she is absolutely stunning. She has really big spots and that bright orange color base that I really love. Here is another girl that's similar to her, but the spots aren't as big. Both Super Dalmatians. And of course, let me show you Chester, the man of the hour, one of my favorite geckos in my collection. And here he is, Chester, probably one of the most famous Super Dalmatians in the world. He is absolutely insane. I just think that the size of his spots and the amount of spots that he has is just perfect. So I am looking to obviously replicate that. This season was good for Chester with the amount of Super Dalmatians he produced for us. But I think this next coming season is going to be even better because he only has Super Dalmatian girls. So I'm really excited to make that orange color base Super Dalmatians with them. And I think this is one of my most exciting projects of this new season. Okay, so my most exciting and my favorite group of 2023 is going to be White Boy. Now, if you don't know the story on White Boy, this is what I think an amelanistic gargoyle gecko. There's only 3 of its kind that I know of, and I have 2 of them now. And this guy is absolutely insane. As you can see right here, I have him with 2 really light orange striped girls. This girl is what an unfired gargoyle gecko looks like. And this is essentially what she will look like if she was fired up. Those stripes down the middle and the sides start to turn really dark black or even really dark, gray. But this is White Boy fired up on this side. You see he has some of that pastel coloration. And on this side, funny enough, he's not fired up. You can see how white and bright he gets. But the crazy thing about these guys is that we're producing a bunch of heads. And these girls are beautiful. But the reason I'm so excited about this group for this 2023 breeding season is because I'm going to be pairing up White Boy with a Deadpool line female. This is one of Deadpool's daughters. And I just want you to imagine this white base coloration that doesn't fire up. It's amelanistic, so it doesn't have any melanin, with these bright, bold red stripes. That is the project. That is the whole idea of this group. And I will be producing a bunch of heads. And then in the next coming years, we're going to be, putting them, crossing them. And then in the next coming years, we're going to be crossing the heads from a lot of different bloodlines and creating some white and red gargoyle geckos. When you strip the melanin away from an animal like this, hopefully she makes it for the breeding season, but when you strip away the melanin from an animal like this, you're going to get neon red colors. So I am super excited for this. All right, so I'm gonna put her here. I am super excited to see what White Boy and this Deadpool daughter do. This is going to be an insane gecko project, and this is what I think will solidify my name in the gargoyle gecko history books. So I'm super excited about this project. The possibilities are endless. She's a red stripe that's red based, and she's not fired up right now, but imagine if she was as white as White Boy. So that's what we're gonna do in the next couple years, but it starts in 2023 with Deadpool line and White Boy line. All right, guys, that wraps up another video. If you are interested in winning one of these red striped gargoyle geckos, make sure you share any of our YouTube videos in any of your social media platforms. You screenshot it, email it over to tikisgeckos@live.com with the subject line YouTube Gargoyle Giveaway, and you will be entered in our contest to win a free red striped gargoyle gecko. Once we reach 85,000 subscribers, you guys will know who won the animal. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.